Hi guys, you're very welcome to another podcast here on narcscon. Killing You Softly with my song by every narcissist stroke psychopath. It behooves me to get into this subject matter in relation to the subtle everyday devaluation that often goes under the radar by the narcissist, particularly in a long-term relationship, but also in the short to medium term. So I'm going to get into this and just kind of go through some everyday examples and recognize what it is in the collective sense. Sometimes we can let things that are everyday, seemingly small things, go by and not paying any attention to them. But collectively, over a long period of time, these devaluing statements and this subtle killing you softly with their song behaviour can in the end wipe you out and you become a shell of a person. Because that's effectively the intention of a narcissistic individual. If you've been through a relationship with a narcissist, you will really get this. Sometimes it's very difficult to get it across to someone who hasn't gone through the very subtle, non-language based devaluation of a narcissist. So let's just prefix this with the fact, having been through this experience, I guess your view on evil and good may have changed. Your perception of everybody in this modern day in the world having good intentions, etc. That is a perception that's put out there, or a concept that we all kind of, I think, believe in the modern times when we set out in life. We've kind of gone away from that old-fashioned belief or biblical belief that actually some people are not good and do not have your best intentions to heart or at heart, whether consciously or unconsciously, or a mixture of both. So most people in the narcissistically aware community do accept that there is, in fact, a clear delineation between good and evil, and that it does actually exist as a concept, and that we do come across whether the narcissist is evil or their behaviours are evil, or whatever conclusion you want to come to. Narcissists are people that take in order for them to grow and survive. They take and destroy, and that's the prefix of this podcast. Other people, normal people and empathic people, plant to grow, to nourish, to gain. And therein lies the very important difference between how a narcissist sets about life and sets about relationships with people and manipulates people to take and destroy rather than to nourish and grow. So everyday situations where the narcissist is killing you softly with their song. For instance, your partner asks you, "How was your day?" or tries to engage you in a subject that they know that you might be interested in. And you answer and they put the answer down, or they laugh at the answer, or they ignore your answer and say, "Oh, just a minute, I have to take a call," or they talk to somebody else and say, "I'll be back to you in a minute." Or they kind of look at you as if you have two heads, which after being with a narcissist, you probably do have two or three heads, because you do not know where your head is at. That's an aside. They will, in every interaction, put you down subtly. And that may go under the radar, something like that, them asking you a question, them not agreeing with your answer. Or another thing that they could do is they often use the word, "You always say that, you know." But in actual fact, that's not valid, or this is the situation, or "You're never happy. You're never this or you're never that. They're always telling you what you feel and who you are. They can do it nicely. They can do it softly. They can do it gently. They can do it using humor. But the continuation of this telling you who you are and how you think and that you always and you never, or they ignore you, is really eroding you, who you are, the respect of you as a standalone individual with your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own personality and identity. Makes the narcissist feel better, to feel grandiose, that they know best, that they ask the questions, that your opinion really doesn't count, but they want to get an interaction from you because they have to have an interaction for their mask and persona to exist. And that's very much why they interact with you. They interact with you to get fuel from you and to be real, be relative. Another way they put you down is they will look at other people or someone who might be maybe the same age group as you or the same sex, in the same group, and they will praise how the other person looks, how the other person dresses. My goodness, they look so young for their age, etc., etc. You know the story. And that in effect is a passive-aggressive way to praise somebody else and then to kind of side look at you, or to continually praise other people and to never praise you. Or to give you a little bit of praise, but to praise an object about you, like, that's a nice dress, not that it looks nice on you. Or that's a nice handbag or whatever. It also may have been something the narcissist may have helped you pick out. So these things you don't pick up on a daily basis, but the effect on you is cumulative and is dangerous because it erodes the self. Another thing that they will do, which again goes under the radar to killing you softly with their song, they use words, they use looks, they use silences, and sometimes they operate using the silent treatment, which is the ultimate disapproval of you. If you have been perceived to do something that's not to their liking, and this can be in as much as you advocating for yourself, offering an opinion that comes from you, making a decision to do something for yourself, like go on a course or go on a diet or go and get exercise. It may not come immediately, so you don't link the two things together. So you've actually decided on a day to do this course and you tell the narcissist about it and they're, will you have time to do that? They'll put complications and negative stuff in your way while appearing to approve and support you. They'll question your judgment as to how you'll fit that in with everything else. So they will make you doubt your ability to do that. But usually the devaluation of that part of your self-agency, where you're showing that you're a separate individual to the narcissist and not merely an extension of their body to serve them and to better make their life easier, to provide them with the provisions of two bodies instead of one, while having your head chopped off and not having your self-identity bothering them or annoying them. You're just there to be a yes person and someone that they can take their bad mood out on when they come home from a bad day. So you may get a delayed silent treatment after you've made or advocated a choice for yourself. Something that's come from you, an idea that's come from you, showing that you're still in there somewhere, that you still have an identity. The silent treatment can come. And even the silent treatment can be disguised in their song by making some comments or answering questions with a grunt or a So they're effectively not ignoring you fully, but they're not engaging with you or treating you with any kind of respect or like a standalone individual. The silent treatment can be extended to periods where they actually don't even acknowledge you, come into a room and look through you and walk out. And sometimes in the maybe short to medium term relationships, you can get the mini discards to try and bring you back under control, to make you miss the narcissist, to make you object less to the narcissist upon their return, because at this stage they have managed to addict you to them and to make you feel that you can't live without them. There's another way, guys, isn't there always with the narcissist? There's another way that they can kill you softly with their song, and that is to change or give you a false persona, to create their version of you and to put that out into the wider world and to actually talk about you to people and give a different impression to a factual story sometimes that may have occurred, but give their version in that you're the crazy person. And in hiding behind that version of you that they present to the world, they get away with more extreme behavior, because their behavior that in a normal relationship would be, even to the outside world, would be looked at as extreme, whereas maybe they shout or they leave you or they, do things that wouldn't occur in a normal relationship. Because they've set you up as being the crazy person, people are understanding more and give them more leeway for, say, losing their temper or leaving you, etc., etc. You get the picture. It's a kind of a gaslighting of who you are to their friends and family and the general public. And another despicable way, and I think this is the last thing I have written down, a few other things. The other way would be you actually are engaging with them, oblivious to the fact that they've been killing you softly with their song and devaluing you subtly. You come home and tell them of someone that's put you down and that's, you're very upset about it. And you're looking for your partner to support you and say, at least you have their support. But instead what they do is look at you in a kind of benign way, which is very off-putting, because they speak to you in a gentle, loving, caring voice. And they say things like, perhaps, I'm on your side, but I do think that person had a point. And you always think differently. You're a bit different to everybody else. In other words, there's something wrong with you because everybody else is different to you. And you are the common denominator in being different to everybody else. So they graciously and grandiosely, in a benign and kind manner, patronize you by agreeing with the person who's insulted and disrespected you. They compound that disrespect by agreeing with the other person, and they get their own dig in by saying in a kindly way that there's something wrong with you, that you're different, and that perhaps you shouldn't be so sensitive or take things to heart, or that the other person actually has a point. This is killing you softly with their song. To compound the song, you hear day in, day out, the repetitive, seemingly kind, benevolent person who knows best and is doing this for your best and is caring for you And in saying that they're caring for you and that it's the best for you, they're saying basically that you need that there's something, again, wrong with you. And that they're the one who know everything, who are in charge, who need to take control because you're incompetent. And it's time for you to stop thinking that you can actually think or make decisions for yourself. To make all this work, they keep you occupied with tasks. They keep you occupied with practical tasks in that they leave you things that you need to do for them, or they show displeasure, or they show that they need you to do this for them, or they can't do that for you. They have got you on the rat run where you do not have a minute for yourself, or they'll have a lot of children with you, or they will set up a business with you, whatever it is that takes you away from any other form of validation, so that they can work their song on you. And it's the only song you hear day in, day out. You don't hear anyone else's input. And therefore the song becomes your reality, and the narcissist telling you who you are and how you feel becomes your reality without you realizing it. And this is where that type of thing becomes extremely dangerous. And this is how subtle it can be with the narcissists that aren't violent, although they can frighten you alongside the nice and genuine good guy or good gal. They can have their moments where they explode, shout, rage, and use physical violence, maybe even very seldomly. But it's always there, hovering in the background as a possibility. And they've frightened you so much on occasion, even if it's rare occasion, that you know the possibility of them exploding and being very dangerous physically is there. So narcissists and psychopaths in today's world do not know that they know that they would be imprisoned if they actually physically kill you. So instead of physically killing you, although some still do, they kill you emotionally, they kill you spiritually, and they kill you mentally. They frazzle your mind by keeping the gateposts always ahead or in a different position, by telling you they never said that, or that's not what they meant, or having a lot of complications in simple situations. They drive people to lose their identity, lose their personality, lose their faith, and that is the worst that can happen. Because when someone loses their faith in at least God will protect them in that circumstance, or get them out. Sometimes at that stage, the narcissist doesn't have to physically kill you. They put the knife in your hand and you kill yourself. And that is how dangerous a narcissist or psychopath is, killing you softly with their song. Thank you, guys. Get out if you can. God bless to all, and I will see you again shortly.